Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of difference of squares. This is standard A.10F in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 34 of the Redesign Practice Online STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need to find a factor of 16m squared minus 81. And there is a really quick way to do this using the difference of squares, but if we don't recognize that, let me show you how to do this using the more standard way. Right? When we're thinking of factoring usually a trinomial, in this case it's a binomial, what we should be thinking is this, right? ax squared plus bx plus c. Because if we get those terms, we can use the diamond method, which is not the only way to solve it, but it's a fantastic way. So let's just map this on top of here. I got my 16. It's going to use m rather than x. That goes there. But then I've got just a minus 81, so I'm going to put that over here as my constant. I don't have anything right here. So what I could do is I can substitute in a plus 0x, just to kind of fill in the blank there. And now I've got my a term. I've got my b term, just 0, right? Because that's what's going to cancel that out. Then my c term is negative 81. If I have all that, right, I can do my diamond method. So I'm going to use my a times c. My b goes down there, so a times c is 16 times negative 81, right? So if we put that out there, 16 times negative 81 is going to get us something real big, but don't worry, we're not going to have to factor all of that, right? It's going to be negative 1296, but we're not going to have to write the factors for that, because take a look at what we're looking for b. We're looking for 0. So we're looking for two numbers that multiply to negative 1296, but then add to 0. And if that's the case, well, if we've got two numbers that add to 0, it's going to be the same exact number. We just want one positive, one negative, which means, you know what, I just need to find the square root of 1296, because if I can do that, well, then that makes it simple, and that obviously is going to be a nice even integer there, 36. Okay, so 36 times negative 36 is going to get me my negative 1296, and then 36 plus negative 36, that's going to give me my 0. And that's what I'm needing for my a and my b. So what I'm going to write is my ax, so that's going to be 16x over one of my factors, 36. And then ax, 16x over my other factor, negative 36. And I do it like this so I can simplify if necessary. So I can divide 4 into both of those, right? So that's going to be 4x over 9. I can do the same thing, 4x over negative 9. And then what I do is I write those right here. And since we've been using x, but really it's m, I'll write it like this, 4m, and then your denominator is a positive 9, and then 4m, your other denominator is a negative 9. So 4m plus 9, 4m minus 9, we see that d right there. So this works. Now, what is the simpler way to do it? Well, if you take a look at your reference materials, you are going to see, look at that second item right there, difference of squares. We see a squared minus b squared. That equals a minus b, a plus b. Let me tell you what that means here. So if we recognize that this right here is a squared minus b squared, so 16m squared minus 81. So it's a recognition problem. If we recognize that, okay, so a squared. So I can say 16m squared is a perfect square. It's 4m squared. 81 is a perfect square. That's 9 squared. Well, then that equals a minus b, a plus b. Right? So these are my a and my b terms. So then I can say, oh, that's pretty easy. That's 4m minus 9, 4m plus 9. That's what the difference of squares tells us. It gets us the exact same answer that we had. It's just a lot quicker if you recognize it as a difference of squares. Either way, our answer is D.